Are you satisfied with how things are going?
Well, I'm glad you're on time for week 2. That's first of all. Last week you were cutting your, or was that Wes?
Come on, let's don't make it.
I'm sorry. In fact, here comes Wes now. So, you know, we're making progress, Rob. We are. Kids are working hard, and I've said that all summer long. Our attitude toward being coached, our receptiveness to being coached has never been an issue. We certainly have some deficiencies in other areas, but our guys are competing and giving great effort.
Anyone in particular who's caught your attention this first week, who stood out, or in a good way or bad way? Or?
You know, I think Derek Reese is making small steps and a little bit of progress. The same guys have been pretty good, consistent in regard to Armani, Josh, Willie Carmichael, Kevin Punter. Those guys have continued to be solid. Probably Derek and maybe even Tariq Owens from a defensive standpoint. We chart everything we do in scrimmage situations, and he's leading our team in block shots right now.
How is Reese adjusting just to being a power forward? This is your position, being more of an inside guy after his role last.
Well, the way we play with our high-low motion, he's going to be on the perimeter some. He's going to pick and pop. He'll pick and roll. He'll have an opportunity to come high to catch and drive the ball from the high post. So he's still going to be on the perimeter some. The biggest thing with Derek is playing with the toughness and the physicality every single day, where it's consistent effort, and in regard to trying to rebound the ball and defend. You know, guys get caught up in what position am I going to play? You know, where am I going to get my opportunity to score? If guys are just defend and rebound, they'll enhance their minutes and then get to shoot more balls.
Donnie, Kevin said last week that he's never played a point guard in his life until he kind of got here. How's that transition going for him, and what's the biggest thing for him?
Well, I think with Kevin, first of all, I've said this quite a few times now, he's unbelievably coachable. He's a sponge. He's a guy that wants to get extra film work. He's a guy that's in the gym working on his game. And it's going to be a tough transition. When you're not a natural point guard at this level, there's certainly going to be some nights where he gets exposed. Our team will be exposed. But to get our best 5 players on the floor, he's going to have to play a lot of point guard this season. There'll be some nights that he probably looks really good and other nights that he really struggles. I've got to do a good job of putting him in position to limit his turnovers, to make his job easier. And that won't always be easy, but he's doing a great job of giving a lot of effort and giving extra time to try to adapt to that position.
For the players you inherited that are used to playing man-to-man defense, how are they adjusting to the zone?
Well, it's been good, and you know, when you see us play, Jimmy, there'll be a good portion of different games or different possessions we are playing man-to-man, depending on where the ball goes to certain parts of the floor. And it's not what some people would perceive to be a typical zone where you just kind of stand in a spot with your hands up. It's a very aggressive zone. There's a lot of man-to-man principles. We get out and pressure the ball. We'll trap some ball screens. We'll trap the short corner at times. So it's very aggressive, and those guys have picked up on it well.
Coach, you said last week Ian Childs had struggled with turnovers back there, and you'd run Josh at the season start today behind Punter there at point. What did you see from Childs last week?
Yeah, same thing. You know, he was banged up a little bit. He missed a practice and a half with a toe injury, and unfortunately that's been Ian's deal all summer. He had the hernia surgery, missed about 5 weeks, comes back for about a week, hurts his shoulder. Now it's the toe. So again, if we played tonight, Kevin would start at the 1, and then when I came off the bench with somebody, it would be Josh as the backup point.
Do you think the players understand a good shot from a bad shot now?
No, not at all. You know, I mean, there's guys that are still learning. I don't think we have any selfish guys on our team. Don't misinterpret that, but I think the biggest thing is that the guys are maybe confident in their abilities to make shots, number 1. Number 2, those are shots they've taken in the past, at least with the newcomers. And until you teach guys that at this level, we call bad shots a shooting turnover, because so many times they lead to transition at the other end for the opponent. You've got to limit those tough, contested, bad shots and try to take care of the basketball. And we're getting better, but we've got a long way to go with that.
Coach, how would you evaluate Dietrich in particular? That right? He said that. I mean, in him talking, he said that was the biggest adjustment for him, was learning what's a good shot and a bad shot.
Well, I've got him brainwashed. He's heard me say that enough that now he's repeating it. But you know, Dietrich's a talented guy. Again, to his credit, he's been very, very coachable. He's had a couple bumps in the road, but for the most part, he's a guy that absorbs what you're trying to tell him. He's, again, a guy that's probably so confident in his abilities, he thinks a tough shot for him is a better shot than the next guy even if he's wide open. So through film study, showing him those things on a daily basis, he's getting better. He had 2 assists, no turnovers yesterday. I don't remember him taking a bad shot at all. So he had one of his better days yesterday. And again, it's a learning process like it is for all freshmen.
He mentioned that for film study, you show them, make them rewatch the bad shots they've taken at the start of practice. You kind of just explain the numbers that you use and also the film philosophy in order to kind of drill that into their heads.
Yeah, I've charted every year that I've been a head coach, and it's always, as the season goes along, and at the end of the season, then it's always about 12 to 16% is what your team will shoot on contested shots. And right now, you know, we had the stat yesterday, we were 70 for 40, and then we were 1 for 7 yesterday, so now we're 8 for 47. That's probably right in that vicinity, 15, 16%. And we show them those shots, and when they see themselves not making those shots consistently, they eventually buy in. You know, the problem is if they make 1 or 2, then they have, you know, a willingness or a reason to say, well, Coach, I can make that shot. And over the long stretch, it's not going to happen. So we just do our job by showing film and repeating that every day.
Dietrich and Derek both talked about the defense that you're putting in. With that, do you see yourself having to push your perimeter guys who want to shoot to concentrate on defense more?
No, I think our guys fully understand now the way to play in our program and get more minutes is to defend and rebound. If you do that, then I'm going to let them play through a mistake or 2 offensively, live through a turnover, etc. But everything is going to be predicated off our defense and rebounding the ball. And most of our guys, even though they may have a more eagerness to play at the offensive end, have really bought in. They're working hard in our press and working hard in our matchup zone.
How soon does this group be playing that full-court pressure you like to play?
Well, you know, we're going to start from day one in regard to pressing and playing up tempo. I think certainly there'll be nights based on the opponent and being home or away that always comes into play as to how aggressive your press will be. And we press in 3 different ways, so we'll tweak some things based on what the press offense of the opponent is, how good their ball handlers are or are not, but we're going to play and be us in what we do from day one.
Coach, there's been talk maybe of a Midnight Madness type of thing. Can you guys finalize any preseason tip-off plans or anything like that?
We have. We're going to do it Friday night before the Alabama game at 7 o'clock. I believe we're going to couple up with the women and do maybe a 3-point contest, a dunk contest, and then each team will scrimmage a little bit. At least that's kind of a brief overview of what we expect to do that day. Should be a lot of fun.